Hi, my name is Jeanne Rehema and welcome to today's video where we will be discussing 7 red flags that I believe, that I have ignored in my past relationships, not just romantic ones, because a red flag is a red flag regardless of who is waving it or who is wearing it. So learn from my mistakes and my experiences, and I personally don't think they're very obvious. They are not things that I was warned about relationally. When I was growing up, the only relationship advice we were told is like, hey, nobody should force you to be intimate or have sex with them, and you're good to go. That was the end of the chat. So we experienced a lot of stuff that we should not have been experiencing. And I've thought of an 8th red flag, but let's just jump into the red flags. And if you're new to, we'll do if you're new to this channel at the end, it's fine. So the first red flag that I have ignored is the person tests you. So this can look like, or the way it actually looked like in my life. I was, when was this? Many years ago. And there was this guy now, before we came to date, so he was a friend at this time. And he used to really test me a lot. And he would admit that he's testing me. So that's the interesting thing here. You'd find, like, there's a time he asked me, I was probably 19 or 20, probably. Yes, I was 19. And he asked me, I won't give the background, or this video will end up being like 30 minutes, but he'd do random tests where an example would be, he would ask me to, let's say, cheat for him in a test. So we would have these tests that you just needed to go to the computer lab, key in your registration number and take a test. And there was a specific unit or course that was done like that. And he knew that I would not be comfortable doing that for him. So I had called him to tell him like, hey, this is the deadline, because I don't know, I thought I was being a good friend. So I've just come from the computer lab and this is the day of the deadline. So you need to come down here and do this assessment. It's really short. It will take you like 15 minutes or you're going to fail this particular course. And he's like, why don't you just do it for me now that you're there? And of course I was uncomfortable and I ended up turning it down. But we were just starting out this friendship. This is the first time he'd asked me to do this, something like that. And I, first of all, went around. I was not firm in my beliefs. And I went around like, hey, bro, just come. It will only take 15 minutes. It's not a big deal. And he kept pushing. And I eventually just told him, no, I'm not going to do that. And then that's when he said, I knew you are not comfortable doing that. I was just testing you to see what you would do. And these are a series of many tests that I ended up enduring for years with this person that I ended up dating. How many years later? 4. Yeah, I dated them 4 years later for a short time. But somebody who tests you just to see what will happen. So there are times this person would show up to hang out and not say anything. So we are texting, are you coming? Are you, yeah, I'm on the way. We are texting. He shows up, doesn't say anything. Hi, how are you? The person just stares at me. So, of course, me being me started to wonder, like, did something happen to you? Because we were texting, we were fine. You're showing up, you're completely nonverbal, you don't look like you're fine. And he honestly would not say anything and watch me unravel for fun. Sometimes he'd just say, oh, he was the kind of person who'd just create chaos to see what's gonna happen. So that he learns the limits and learns you. And people who do this are usually kind of studying your tolerance for abuse or how far they can go with you. And unfortunately, me being accommodating of their insanity, communicated to this person that they were kind of priming me. They just kind of test your limits to see if you're a good candidate for their unhinged behavior, which I failed. Yeah, not fun. So if anyone tests you, and I've had this done in a non-romantic setup where the person suggested something completely inconvenient and ridiculous just to see if I would go along with it. So I had planned to do things a certain way, and they suggested that, what I want to do, they're like, oh, that doesn't make sense. If you waited for me for 4 hours, how about you wait for me for this ridiculous amount of time, and then we can end up doing ABC together with you afterward. So they inserted themselves into my day, but it involved me waiting for them to finish their errands for around 4 hours because my method or my itinerary did not make sense. So now this is much later. So I was like, okay, I can wait for you. Even though it would be incredibly inconvenient for me, I decided, okay, let me just wait for this person. And I regretted it, but this time, because that person proceeded to have the most unhinged conversation with me when we eventually met, and I was livid. It's like this, I should have seen this coming because I went through it years ago with someone else. This was like a kind of test. But even if I fell for it, you can be sure I have not hung out with them again because I do not play those games right now. So somebody will basically suggest something that is inconveniencing for you, that they know you're uncomfortable with, or they will do something that they know annoys you just to see how much they can get away with. And then they learn you. So avoid somebody who tests you, who knows something annoys you, but they do it anyway just to see how you'll react or how long they can do it before you react. And then they keep changing it and tweaking it to see what can I get away with, what can't I get away with. In a healthy relationship, which I was happy and blessed enough by God to have experienced, with one of my close friends, this person, I would hang out with them, and immediately they noticed that I don't like something. I noticed the next time we would hang out, they would actively avoid doing it. And I'm that way too. If I pick up from your body language that something displeases you, I'm not going to try and be like, oh, let me see how far I can drag this, or let me see how much I can get away with. Let me just have fun with this. So somebody who just wants to have fun with your emotions is someone to avoid. And I think I've explained that enough. Second flag that you should avoid is the never solves anything. So this is the person who you have a conversation with them and they will be like, oh, I need time to think about stuff. And they leave it open-ended. And every time you ask them about it, oh, I'm still thinking. I'm still thinking about that. And then a month passes and 2 months passes. And this is something you need feedback on. This is whether it's a relationship issue or you need their input. Even in a parenting dynamic, you have the parent, you're like, hey, can I go here? And they're like, let me think about it, or we'll see. And then they just never give you a direct answer. Annoying. But if you do that, that's a red flag. Your behavior, just say yes or no. Don't leave people in limbo, because the shoe doesn't really pinch you, does it? It's hurting the other person. So don't do that to people. Let me make sure this is still recording. 1 second. Oh yeah, we're good. So don't do that to people so you leave them in limbo. You're not really talking about something. So you're in relationship with someone and you need their feedback, you need their input, there's an unresolved conflict, and they keep telling you, I'm thinking about it, I'm waiting, I'm gathering my thoughts. Somebody told me that the same guy who was testing me the moment he'd see that something was important to me and I needed his feedback, he would hold it over me. It becomes a power play. So he has something I want, so he won't give it to me. And then he watches it eat me up. Like, we need to talk about this. Oh, I'm still thinking about that. And sometimes he'd do that for a year. I know, I was young. Yeah. It cannot be me now, but in case this is you and you have this person who just drags things along, never giving you feedback, and they create a structure such that your entire relationship is tethered around their whims. So you only discuss things when they want to discuss things, not when you need to discuss things. It's always about them and their feelings and their whims. I don't want to talk about that right now. I'm still thinking. And then you give them time. You come back after 6, 7, 8 weeks or however long. And it's like, oh, you're just being pushy. You're not accommodating me. Why are you rushing me? So now they make you feel like you are the mean person for rushing them, yet they just don't want to talk about something and they're enjoying the power they have over you. Please move away from this kind of a person or a dynamic. And part B of that, or I can call this number 3, someone who turns your correction against you. So you correct them and it's like, hey, this and this happened, and I didn't like it when you said this, or when you did this, or when you did this, you crossed a boundary. And then instead of acknowledging, they turn it on you. And it's like, even you did ABCD a couple of months ago, or even this doesn't work for me, or even you are being unfair to me in this way. And then they start listing a list of imaginary or true things that you did. So they never take accountability for their actions. Anytime you bring something up, they bring something you did. And then now it's about what you did and not what about they did. And then please don't engage in this kind of a conversation and end up apologizing. Just walk away, okay? Next one, I think this is number 4. Someone who tries to make you insecure about yourself. So they tell you, like, maybe they don't like something about you, or they like something about someone else. Like, oh, I just love how this person is so funny, or how this person gets my jokes, or I love this person's body shape, or I love curvier women, or anytime a specific body type passes, they compliment them, yet they never compliment you. That's one side of doing it. Or they just flat out insult you. Like, I don't like how you, what can it be? I don't have an example. or someone like mutters under their breath, and this is something I've seen happening in a couple where the girl was talking and the guy just mumbled under his breath, "I really don't like you." Never, and I'm telling you, never ignore things that are muttered under somebody's breath. Don't ignore someone slighting you directly or indirectly. So the first one is indirectly. They look for qualities other people have and make sure they keep complimenting them so that you indirectly feel inadequate, but they're not guilty of actually saying the wrong thing to you. And then the other one is actual underhanded compliments or comments, or they just insult you, like, or they belittle you. So maybe you have cramps and the person is like, "It's not even that painful." How would he know? Or even if it's another woman telling you that, how would they know? Are they your uterus? Are they in your body? Or, oh, you're just you're just too soft, or, oh, you're overreacting. Triggering. Okay? No, you're overthinking. Do not stay around someone who will listen to your emotions or your feelings and tell you you're overreacting, you're overthinking. I don't even think you have what you say you have. No, don't run. Just ghost them if you have to. Nobody will die if you ghost them. If you, yeah, they're not, they'll feel bad. Maybe if someone with this kind of character toward you or behavior toward you, if you ghost them, no, it's fine. If you don't know how to leave, you can ghost them. You have permission to ghost them. The next one, someone who tries to make you feel jealous. So, same guy, okay? He would be like, "Hey, I was hanging out with," I almost said the name. I'm sorry. Let me change it to, let me Google. Found a unisex name. So, "Hey, I was hanging out with Queen today and it went this way and this way and I had the best time and all that." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." Then he replies, this is still when I was like 1918. I should have run away very fast, but I didn't. And it's like, "Oh, Queen could be a girl, right?" I'm like, I actually did think Queen was a girl. I was not thinking Queen was a boy. And it would be unlike you to talk about your time with a guy the way you just spoke. So yeah, I was fully expecting Queen to be a girl. And it's like, "Oh, aren't you jealous? Or I thought you'd be jealous." So I told him, like, "No, I'm not." And I wasn't. And I let this slide because I thought I had proved to myself and to this person that, you don't need to play these kinds of games. I am not that type of girl. So it's fine. That's how I rationalized it. But what I was doing was ignoring this person's intentions. If a person has intent of arousing jealousy or anger or any bad feelings within you, this is not someone who loves you. So this person is trying to drag you into a very weird dynamic with them. You do not want any part of that. So it's not just, "Oh, I'm not the jealous type, so, whatever you are doing backfired, we're good." No. If someone has ill intent toward you, they have ill intent toward you. So you're better off moving away because, the way I said, I think earlier, you do not want to test the depths of depravity of the human heart. If someone has shown you that their intent or intentions toward you are ill, of evil, don't stick around to wait to see how bad it will get. So if someone is studying you, trying to see just how what you'll do, when you'll do it, how you'll do it, what they can get away with. They are priming you for abuse slowly. So now you think it's okay for someone to test you. You think it's okay for someone to make you feel jealous or make you feel bad. And then the longer you stay, it's like a frog in water. So the water is getting hotter and hotter, but you'll just be chilling there because you're being tempered to stick around. Don't do that. Just walk away as fast as you can. And obviously, next red flag, a person who lies. Okay, white lie, little lie, any kind of lie, especially if they are the kinds of lies. Okay, any kind of lie, just if you catch somebody lying, just leave. Friend or otherwise, you do not want to mess around with someone who lies. It's not going to go well. The next one is someone who commits too soon, even if it's verbally. So it's kind of like love bombing. I've never met anyone like you. Yeah, bet. Of course, you've never met anyone like me. There's only one of me roaming the earth. That's kind of just stating facts. But someone is like, never met anyone like you. I want to introduce you to my friends or my family. I've never taken a girl home before, or I've never introduced a girl to my friends before. You're the only person I can open up to and talk to. I really don't have anybody else I can open up to. And then they start oversharing very personal things with you right off the bat. You know, my mom or my dad or this and this happened to me. And then because they've shared so deeply with you, you end up also sharing very deeply with them. And you've just known them for 5 minutes. Please don't do that. So it's a common tactic people use to either, one, get your sympathy, and then they get away with a lot of things because, oh, you're my only friend. I have no one else to talk to. But also, don't ever call me at night. I was lonely and sad and my phone was off. Don't fall for that kind of manipulative talk. No. Yeah. So they're either trying to get your sympathy, and whatever they shared with you, they will use against you. So, oh yeah, I'm just mean because my daddy was never home. I don't know how to treat women. Please don't fall for that. And this also happens with girls towards guys. I have seen someone who could not unshackle himself from a very manipulative lady because, oh, she's had such a sad life. Everyone has had a sad life one way or the other, okay? So just because somebody shares this extremely traumatic event with you, 5 minutes after you met them 1 week ago, you've been talking with them for 3 weeks on the phone, they're suddenly sharing the deepest, darkest parts of their soul with you. Why? Or if it's not to gain sympathy from you, it's for you to share something dark so that they can know how to use it against you. So basically, guard your heart with all diligence. And lastly, someone who exhibits mean behavior. If they were in kindergarten, we would say they do not play well with others. So, for example, you go on a hike, maybe you run out of water, and they have 2 liters of water, and the person is like, I'm not sharing my water with you. If you finished your own water, that's your problem. Yeah, this is actually something that happened. And they ended up not even drinking the water they carried, but I'm not sharing mine with you, stay. Or you have a heavy backpack and the person tells you, you packed it, you carry it. I'm not about, why should I pay for your sins? Why should I carry stuff you packed? If you pack it, you carry it. Yeah, it sounds logical, but that's just mean. And don't let somebody logic you into their meanness. Let me just give a bonus one. Somebody who, and this is another way of testing you. So someone is like, hey, I need space. Could you please give me space? Which is something that happened to me once. So normal people will respect your space. So when the person said they wanted space, I left them alone. But my mentor always told me, never leave things open-ended. If someone tells you they want space, they may or may never come back. Always have a timeline. So I'm giving you a week or 2 weeks or 5 days, whatever is reasonable for you. And we agreed on a week. I left him by himself the whole week because he asked me for space. Then he comes at the end of the week and he's like, oh my goodness, I'm so surprised and disappointed that you didn't reach out. He's like, reach out for what? You told me you want space. Why would I reach out? You asked me for space. Why would I text you or call you or reach out in any way? Oh, I was expecting that my absence would tear you apart so hard and you would miss me so much that you could not help yourself and you would just end up texting me and I would feel the love, that, oh, you can't stay without me. He basically said that, like, he honestly asked for space so that I would go into this spiraling turmoil and reach out to him. He did not need any space. It was a test. I don't know, maybe I passed it. Never ask me for space again because I leave you alone. All the way over there. But yeah, I kind of failed the other tests. But someone will try to create drama. I have had a friend date a guy who would basically poke her and annoy her so that she would fight back because the relationship was too boring when there was no fighting. So he would test her to see what annoys her. Then when he finds what annoys her, he would pull out the things that annoy her from his list of things that annoy her. He whips it out whenever he's bored, just so they could fight. Because why are you so boring, huh? Fight with me, huh? Fight, hey, fight, yell. I just want you to be annoyed because I'm bored when you're happy. So yeah, before I end the video, which I can see is already 30 minutes long, why did I stick around that long? Stuck around that long because I, first of all, didn't know what to do with the information. So sometimes you see red flags, but you tell yourself that if you behave well, behave well, I mean, if you don't play into the red flags, the person will change. And this was just based on my life experiences growing up. So if you have a lot of manipulative people around you, you learn how to work the system such that they leave you alone. So I stayed around because I thought if I show you that your manipulation isn't working, then you'll stop. So that was one of the reasons. And I'll share the next reason. But don't leave. You walk away. Don't stick around. If you don't know how to leave, ghost somebody. Just tell them, block their number, tell them hey, the moment they do one of these tests, you tell them, this is unhealthy, I want no part of it, so bye. You don't need to, give them closure, which they'll try to manipulate you to coming back. Or they'll cry. They'll even cry till they nosebleed. I'm so sorry. Manipulative people know what works with you because they tested you along the way. And the second reason I stuck around was my father left when I was 15. And I never wanted, subconsciously, I guess, or maybe even consciously, I never wanted to abandon anyone the way I was abandoned or the way he abandoned us. So I believed in this fighting for people no matter what. So instead of running from red flags, I would stick around so that I don't abandon someone the way I was abandoned by my dad. And that wound ended up keeping me through these mini flags that you have had. And maybe you are thinking, oh my gosh, Rehema, what? You stuck around? I did stick around. So, but I'm here on the other side. And yes, even as a mental health professional, you might be like, whoa, you ended up like being a counselor and a mental health professional. Yeah, we're people. So yes, that is my video. If you've liked today's video, you can give it a thumbs up and ask whatever questions you have in the comments. You can stick around in the channel as well, where we look at life from the perspective of a Christian perspective, because I'm a Christian. We discuss some theological things, and also a lot of my life experiences and also my delivery will be shaped by my life experiences. One of which is me being introverted, being autistic, being nerdy, and most importantly, my first identity being the daughter, bride, and temple of God. If you're interested in what life just can look like for a Christian woman I'm a bit matured, in her 30s, you can stick around. Yeah, so bye.